Hello my little pomfrits, how are you again? Good to see you. I can't believe you're still here after my 2 terrible starter videos. I hope you enjoyed them if you've watched them. If you haven't, go back and have a look because they're silly, but my first ones. Now then, as I put in the description, today I'm going to talk about the Bluetti 400, their new one. I know it's been out in Australia and other places, America, for 8 months, 6-8 months. I've finally got one in the UK. They've probably been here for a while, a month or 2, but I've got one. I've had this a month. I just haven't got round to videoing anything. So the plan is on my van, because this channel is going to be about my van conversion and other techie things to do with the van conversion. And cameras as well. I've got a state in my hair. I've just washed it. Cameras and things going alongside it, how I'm filming it and everything. But today I have got the Bluetti 400. Now, I didn't want in my van to fit a permanent electrical solution with all the, what those blue boxes called, I can't even remember, but it turns into thousands. Okay, the Bluetti 400 was just over £1,000. Yeah, just over £1,000. I paid for that, it wasn't given to me, I bought it. As I have all my Bluetti banks, my 180 and other ones I've got. But this is going to be my main power source, and the van I want to easily be done up to so I can go away for a weekend easily. So biggest bed I can get in there, really, so I can sleep well. I want that all to fold away. Then I want some sort of heating and hot water, but I don't want to fit any electrical system. I don't want a gas boiler. I don't want an under sink 10-litre boiler thing. I wanted something that I could take out at a moment's notice with not too much effort. So I'm going to show you the Bluetti 400 and what I bought for my showering hot water and maybe even my ordinary hot water. So here she is in all her glory. Absolutely beautiful monster. She's a bit of a monster. I don't know the sizes off the top of my head. Yes, I've got it up on my sink. Sorry. There's the fruit. But you can see, I mean, she's so well built. So well built. I'm really, honestly, chuffed with it. Best money I've spent, because this I can use in my garage. I've got a garage up the road with no electric. I can take it up there and use that. But this is going to go in my van to do all my electrics. As you can see, you've got your 240 volts, which will put out 2,600 watts, nearly 4,000 watt hours in total. Ample for me for a weekend, possibly even a week, depending on what I'm doing. You've got a USB-C 100 watt there, and then your 2 standard, well, they're not standard, they're USB-A, but 15 watts. Might be useful. Then you've got your cigarette. I haven't really actually got anything that I can use for that. But I might, I don't know, I might get a small fridge, well, not even a fridge, it's a cooler, which is 12 volt. So that can plug in there and run for hours and hours and hours and hours probably. And then obviously your input, your X60 or 90, I can't remember now. I know I've got one of those cables, but I haven't used it yet. But the good thing with that is it goes up to 20 amps, where charging before on the 12 volt from a cigarette lighter, it was only 10 amps, it was ridiculous. So anyway, but you know all this, which is why you're here, you just want to look at it. And she's gorgeous, gorgeous. Intake, outtake fan, both sides, you can take that off and clean it, as you know. She's just beautiful, beautiful, and I love it. But I want to use this to have a shower. So how do I do that? Well, here, like I got off of Amazon, quite cheap, is a sturdy 5-gallon bucket. But I think 5 gallons is only like 19 litres. It takes 20. I put 20, I made sure I measured it in a jug, I've got 20 litres in there. That's ample for a shower. And you don't have to mix the hot water with cold water to give you more. That's going to be enough. But how do I heat it? Well, I'm going to show you something now, guys and girls. You're going to love this. Look at this baby here. Look at this. What does that remind you of? Absolute disgusting. What are you thinking, you naughty, naughty people? This is a 2,500 watt heating element. That's all it is. And I'm going to pop it in there. Like that. And I'm going to plug the other end in there. Now this setup should heat this in about 15 minutes at 2.5 watts, 2,500 watts. This can handle that easy. It goes up to 2,600. But this does, you can actually get a 3,000 watt heating element, or even plug 2 of these in if you wanted to go. Then you can't do 5,000, I don't think. I think this on, what do they call it? Powerlifting mode, it goes up to about 4,000 watts. I'll have to check that. On heating elements anyway, it'll do that. There's the little arm, look, you can see the little arm. So it's powerlifting. So that will power heating elements, hair dryers, one of these things, up to about 4,000 watts. But this is 2.5, and that's ample. And it might drain the battery a little bit. Half of it? No, it won't, not in 15 minutes. But we're going to time it. I'm going to give it a go. So, here we go. All right, so that shower water has got to get up to about 37 degrees. That's what they recommend. I've got a heater, no, I've got a temperature gun here. I am going to heat this up, see how long it takes to heat this up to shower temperature. And then I will show you my little shower unit for that. But that could be taken anywhere, outside, inside, wherever you want to do it, once it's been heated up. So here we go. I'm going to have a look at the, this is on 100%. I'm going to set my timer. Ready, steady, go. All right, stopwatch is on. You can hear it already. Now that, you just make sure it's touching the bottom. 4 minutes in, it's still only doing 2,182 watts. .7 degrees. It's not bad in 4 minutes. Right, we're 13 minutes in. It's down to 84%. on 42.5 Celsius. That is done. That is done. And it's taken 10, 11, 12, 15 minutes. Can you see? Quarter of an hour. I think that's amazing. So this is very, very capable. The Bluetti Elite 400 is very capable of running that, giving you some heat for washing up or for a shower. You could easily have probably 4 showers, and that's just that. Plus I've got my Bluetti, Bluetti 180, which I can then transfer the power to here. I can just plug it in there. That'll top that back up. And I've got the DC to DC Bluetti charger too. So, wow, as long as you've got water, you've got loads of power. Now this is my home kettle. It's got a built-in Brita at the back, but you can actually adjust on the top here what sort of temperature you want. So I'm going, how much water you want. I'm going to put it on full. Let's turn the Bluetti back on. 82%, 81%. Let's turn the AC on. I've got powerlifting mode on. That should. There we go. It's on and it's pulling. It's a 2,600 watt inverter. It's a 3,000 watt kettle, but it's only pulling 2,683 watts. So it's going to do that easy. Absolutely easy peasy lemon of the old squeezy, which I'm really chuffed at. I thought, well, 3,000 watts, it wouldn't struggle, but it might knock the power down a bit. That's absolutely brilliant. Look at the state of that. But yeah, that kettle that only run at 2,600 is 3,000 watts. Breville 3,000 watts. So that's done. Bluetti's away. I'll read this through the plastic. 41.2 in quarter of an hour. Now this bit of kit, I'm going to show you what's come with it. You get this nice bag, this lovely bag. You get 2 lids. Sorry, I'm using 2 hands here. You get 2 lids. That with a little breather hole. And the other one with a permanent hole. You get a nice little sponge thing around your bit jobby. You get a little sponge to clean it off. You get this attachment, which is fantastic. Let's put it over there. You get this attachment with 3 of these little stickery things going there, so you can stick it to anything like that, or probably screw it in permanent if you wanted to, but sticking it on the back of your van. If you've got a little shower inside, you can stick it to your tiles. Then I got this pump, a little, so it's the same brand. The same brand. Do you know what? I can't remember if I bought it together or separately. I think it was all together. It all came together. And then you charge it up. You've got, you charge it up with the C connector, C charger. And that's supposed to pump for hours. So you get that. And you get the shower head, which is brilliant. And those little accessories. And a 5-gallon, well, it's 20 litres I put in there. It actually would hold probably another, I don't know if you can see where that is. That would hold another 2 litres, so you could probably get 22 litres in there. Well, I think that's brilliant for the money. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to wire it in and see how long, because that's still up to temperature. It's still up to temperature, I think, so let me just have another look. 42.2 degrees Celsius, that water. That is lovely. That is so good. What I'm going to do now is run it off and see how long that will last. I'm going to put the pump, turn it on first. All right, I'm now going to time how long this 20 litres lasts. Let me just turn it on. We'll see how long that lasts. That's all right, you know, that's all right. I would prefer it a bit hotter. I'm like that though, I like things like 45 degrees. That is good. How long that's going to go for? Let's chucking it out. Still going. That is fantastic. It actually says, it still says 40 degrees, and that's at the bottom. So I mean, heat rises, so it must have been a bit warmer at the top. That's 43 degrees. That is gorgeous. Oh, it's just sucking air now. Tip that up a bit. Which is probably what I'll do when I use it. I'll just tip it up. Have it on a block. There it goes. That's it. Stopped. So 4 minutes that lasted. Now, is that long enough? Yes, it is, because what you're first going to do is just turn it on and get yourself wet, lather yourself up and wash yourself off. But that seemed longer than 4 minutes to me. I might do that again, but top that right up and heat it up. But I think that's pretty good. Doesn't sound like a long time, but when it's coming out as it did, it wasn't dripping out, it was throwing it out, as you saw. Yeah. Yeah, 4 minutes. 4.5 minutes. I got 4.5 minutes out of that. That's all right. But like I said, that was with it on constantly. Didn't turn it off. So I'm chuffed, because that was 20 litres. If you get a 10 litre pressurised system or a vented system, or, you know, with a expansion thing, how long is that going to last? I mean, that would be hot water, and you could run cold with it to mix it. So that would probably last all right. But this only took, what was it, 15 minutes to heat up? And it lasted me 4 minutes, 4.5 minutes to be fair, 4.5 minutes. I think that's ample. If I had 2 of them, yeah, I'm happy with that. And it went from, my Bluetti 400 went from, was it 100% down to 83%. So yeah, the Bluetti 400 is amazing. It is just amazing. Heavy, it is heavy, but it's amazing. So yeah, I could have 4 showers if I wanted to. If I had enough water and drainage. Fantastic. And I've got a double, I'll have to do a test on that. I have got a double ceramic hob, which I'll test as well. I think that goes up to about 2,500 watts, I think it is, on full power. It's going to be enough. And I've got a kettle, which is only 750 watts. So I personally think that was a bargain. That 20 litre or 5 gallon bucket, 2-lid sponge bag, hooks, pump, shower hose was 49 quid. I'm not sure I paid that for it actually, but for 50 quid, I think that's fantastic. I think this is the best way for 50 quid. I don't want to have a gas bottle and a burner, and you can't, it'd be difficult to take everything out once it's fitted. This you can take anywhere, and when it's empty, everything fits in that hole, the pump, the bag, everything. You just carry around the green tub empty. I think it's fantastic. In fact, I'm going to get another one. I don't have a link for the Bluetti 400. As I said, I bought that. They haven't given me anything. I haven't asked for anything. Well, just an amazing bit of kit. Absolutely love it. I love my other ones, but this one, yes, it's heavy. That's it, but it's on wheels, and it seems so robust. It feels amazing. Pardon me. It's just an amazing bit of kit. If you can get one of them, if you feel the need for one of those, that'd be great around your house. And the other good thing is we're having solar panels and a battery fitted at home in the next month, I think. So I can even charge it up at night for virtually nothing. So it's free energy, not really, because you're paying a bit of money to get it all on the roof. But the fact that I can charge it up and that won't really cost me anything is brilliant. And when it's in the van, if I'm driving, I can recharge it with my DC to DC charger. Fan-flipping-tastic. I want to keep my van, when I do it up, which I will show you all, I want it to be stealthy. I don't want it to look like a camper. At the minute, it just looks like some sort of, well, I'll have to show you some pictures. On my next video, we'll do a bit more on my camper van, because this is part of it, but I'll show you what I've got to do to it and my plans. Again, guys, love you long time. Have a good time. Stay at that. And I'll see you soon. Cheers for now, bye.